Alright, we're gonna try this a little bit different today, boys. I got not so many people in the gym, but I got a pretty good idea to doing this shit yesterday with the camera instead. Maybe cut the shit out later, you know what I'm saying? Edit it all up. That kind of gimmick. So, I'm gonna try this little long form jewel here. Just think about oh man, doing a little storytelling. So like right there, we'll probably speed that up, may cut something out. It's hard to say though. I don't want to get it up pretty quickly, but the quality of the video should be better than streaming. My hair looks like shit, so I'm not gonna look no prettier, that's for sure. But that's alright. But yeah, we're just gonna do a little storytelling. Maybe explain what I'm about a little bit. Get the random type ish. Get the random type ish. You know what I'm saying? A little who is rocking your own type gimmick. That's what I'm thinking. I'm starting some of the early years, you know what I mean? And I'll just try to think about stuff that is relevant because, you know, a lot of these guys, I can't, like crazy gangster stories that happened to them or this, that, and the third. One of my stories was going to work, you know what I'm saying? And working like shit, trying to make money. That's what I did. That's like my gimmick. Like, I don't know. I was born in West Virginia. And I don't remember much of that time. I think I was there until like third grade. Or something like that, man. I want to say, like, maybe even like second grade, something like that. When I moved to Texas, man, but I don't remember a whole lot of what happened. You know, like 1 to 8 there. But he was out there in West Virginia, where my family's from. I remember a couple stories. I know that me and my close cousin Jimmy, me and him did spend a lot of time hanging out in the summer times, and that's where that tattoo coming from. He had that on his back, and we was probably like 3 or 4. My dad had pulled up to a gas place, you know, like that sells gas, like acetylene, stuff like that for welding, oxygen, stuff like that, right? So they go on and load it up. What they need, oxygen, acetylene, or whatever it was, I don't know. I'm sure something like that though. And they got them loaded up in the truck. They leave me and my cousin in the pickup truck, old C10 standard with a clutch, you know. Well, I guess me and him got to thinking it'd be a good idea to go ahead and drive that Jewel. I'd work the pedals and he'd steer. So I got down in there and started pushing pedals, and he got the steering. And two little bitty kids drove that Jewel down out the parking lot and across the 4-lane highway down over the hill. And my dad was like, damn, the tanks would have exploded if he got hit and all that crap, you know what I mean? Thinking the worst or whatever, but everybody was all right. Just one of them things. Like, my cousins actually did the same thing with a Nova. Well, not across the highway, but two of my other cousins did the same thing with my uncle's Nova. Went and put it down the hill, trying to drive before he's even old enough to look over the steering wheel. And dang, I'm trying to think what other memories I have from that time, man. I remember going sledding and stuff like that in the snow a couple times. But yeah, no, I don't remember a whole lot. And then we moved to Texas. I remember a little bit more from Texas. I was like 3rd grade on, you know. I remember a little bit more from there. I remember my mom and dad used to work on the base down there in Fort Hood, and we lived like right off, you know, in the suburbs there of the base, and they were civilians working on the base. And yeah, man, like I remember like going swimming down there on the base, and I remember a lot of stuff. I remember getting my first bike down there, and I remember getting a Nintendo for Christmas with duck hunt and shit. I remember that, playing it on a damn big old console. I'm pretty sure we got it down there, because I remember playing it when we moved up to Virginia Beach. So I think I got it like the same year we moved from Texas up to Virginia. But got my first bike down there, banana seat with red flames on it. I think it was like a Murray or a Huffy or something. Man, I think they had armadillos. Sit there and run over a damn armadillo. I remember a lot of Army guys were stationed in Korea, so there was a pretty big Korean population of people there, and my parents used to leave me to get babysit by my uncle's wife's people, I guess. It was like my Korean grandma. I remember she used to give me Ovaltine every morning. Like, I'd get dropped off and she'd say it was like a milkshake. She'd make one of them Ovaltine things for me. I used to love them. I drank the shit out of them. It was almost like a milkshake though to me, you know what I mean? But I remember she used to let me watch MTV. My mom would let me watch MTV at the house. And she let me watch MTV. I remember, what was it, Def Leppard, Pour Some Sugar on Love. I remember that video. I remember watching it down there. But yeah, armadillos, like we hit a damn armadillo without getting the speed bump. Like, out of nowhere. You know, you're going 35, 40 mile an hour down the road. And damn sure enough, armadillo would come out on the road. You hit that, you'll tear your tire off. did those McDonald's. Then I get the decline. And then Mike Tyson's, Mike King's. Another thing I remember is down the road, my dad had a friend. My mom and dad had friends down the road, like our neighbors. And I don't remember what the guy's name was, but he was ex-military, and his wife called him Pablo, which was supposed to be like, obviously I have a stupid hillbilly accent and stuff, but I remember my mom saying that it meant stupid or dummy or something like that. So, because she would call him that all the time, I thought that was like his Korean name, so I started calling him that, and my mom was like, hey, don't call him that. Don't call him that. But I think I've told this story before when I lived down there. I remember some kids was tearing up his garden and getting in his yard all the time. And he ended up hit the kid in the leg and had to call an ambulance for him and everything. But he told them to get on out of there, and they were trying to hide or whatever. And in Texas, really, you just gotta have, they're on your property, really. You don't have to be in your house or none of that, you know what I mean? But it was definitely self-defense, because he never had no problems from it. At least, you know, when I was younger, I never seen him go away for any time or anything like that. Crazy story, like, you know, here as a kid, you know, yeah, he ended up having to shoot the kid in the yard. I don't think he was very old. The kid might have been like 13, 15 years old, I think, something like that. I don't know if they were stealing stuff or what, I don't know. I used to get in a lot of trouble down there because the teacher ended up making me have to go for, it was like when ADHD and stuff was like starting to be real big, and the teacher was trying to tell my mom that I had hyperactive disorder or something, because I wouldn't, like, I'd always be cutting up and doing dumb shit. And they ended up taking me, and the doctor was like, nah, he's just stupid. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He just don't know how to act right. So that was a whole deal. Because, you know, they thought they was going to be able to just give me medicine or whatever. Yeah. Mom wasn't too happy about that. She was like, you need to stop being dumb. Acting stupid in school all the time. I think the teacher didn't like me. That's what I think. A lot of military kids too, though, you know. Oh man, I do remember one time talking about getting in trouble. I can't remember what we did, man, but like that was down there, like they had Sam's Club, you know, so it's like a big ass Walmart, like, but you know, instead of being a Walmart, it was Sam's Club, so you could get like BJ's basically. And I had to go up there with my babysitter, which was not the Korean lady. Like, there ended up being this white lady that lived down the street. And my mom started taking me down there because it was closer to the house. And sure enough, she got mad because me and her kids was cutting up acting a fool all up in the store. And like back then, you know, kids didn't really act up like talk about, you know what I'm saying? So I don't even remember what we did, man. But I do remember she bought me like some kind of icy thing. And it had like the orange peel in it. And I was like, nah. That's gross. So, anyhow, when she got us back to the house, she fired our asses up, whipped our asses, right? Well, she got after me with well, I mean, she got after all the kids, but she got after me with a wire coat hanger, whipped the shit out of me with it, and you know, I guess they called my mom or whatever, and she was like, yeah, well, whip his ass then. But you know, she didn't know that they was gonna whip me with a fucking wire coat hanger. So when she got there, I'm like, Mom, this bitch done fucking whipped me with a wire coat hanger. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, this dumb fucking woman done whipped me with a wire coat hanger. So then she was pissed off, but then nothing really happened with it. That I remember. I don't really remember staying there after that, though, to be honest with you. I ended up staying with a Spanish lady for a little while. You know, being daycare. And the only thing I remember is I get dropped off and it'd be on HBO every morning, and I watch the shit out of that. Damn, what was that movie, man, with the black car? Came back. And it was like a bunch of kids, and like that Dodge Interceptor thing that they had. Yep. The Wraith. That's the name of the movie, The Wraith. I remember that movie used to be on, and then I remember there was some kind of weird ass scary movie where like the monster was in the closet. I think that's like the name of the movie, was The Monster in the Closet or some stupid shit. But I remember that because I was up early in the morning watching it, and old dude got up, was out there watching it with me, her boyfriend or her husband or something, and and I guess I was getting freaked out or something, and he's like, you think this is scary? This is dumb, man. Look at the monster. And the monster looked crazy, like it didn't even look real, you know, because the budget was so low on that movie or whatever, that the monster didn't even look real, you know. That's good. What are we even doing here? What are we even doing here? I'm just gonna pause it here, run back and see where we're at. I think we're just going like Tyson. Yeah. What do you say? But then we moved up to my dad just always following work, you know what I mean? Like he was working on the golf course and stuff down there, but my mom's aunt was like, y'all should move back up here to Virginia. There's all kinds of work up here. Up here, and my dad was talking to some people in Virginia Beach about hanging drywall, and they were telling him that he was going to make all kinds of money up there. So of course he said, yeah, that's great. And then it ended up being, you know, piecework, and it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be when he actually got up here and stuff. But hold on a second. Yep, we got the next set done. I was just making sure that I did it all. Ran it back. Sure enough, did. Got one more set. I wanted to go get one more set, y'all. So yeah, so we move up here to a mini van. Instead of moving where my aunt's was, we moved where my dad's brother was in Norfolk, Virginia Beach. We moved. And shoot, yeah. So I'm trying to think what happened, man. Like, we didn't live very far from the beach. There was like that 17th Street surf shop was like real popular and shit. Dang, like it was crazy. It was just like a lot of brand new stuff. Like, it was just different from where I'd been before. Like, even in Texas, man, it wasn't really like. It was like a lot of brand new stores and stuff, like Hackinger's and all this other stuff that was like crazy new stores to me, you know. And I don't know, it just looked like new. Everywhere else I lived, it looked like it was kind of like old, you know what I mean? And I don't know. Only thing I probably remember there is we used to go to like school, like halfway out in trailers outside, and half of it would be inside. We only stayed there like a year or so. The only thing that I really remember from there really is like there wasn't a switch at the top of the stairs, so you couldn't turn the light on upstairs until you got up there. So it would be dark when you got upstairs. And it was like when first started like renting movies and with the VCRs and everything, you know. And my parents had went out and rented 2 movies and had friends over, and they watched that Biloxi Blues and I can't remember, man. I think it was like the second Friday the 13th or the third one or something, right? Well, so I watched a scary movie, probably, like I said, probably like 8 to 9, 10 years old, and I go upstairs to go to bed. Well, my dad snuck upstairs. It's upstairs. He knows it's dark and shit, and scared the shit out of me, man. I about died. I about died, man. That ain't no bullshit. And I remember, my mom saying for me to leave Mario Brothers on pause while I went to go clean up a mess I made. And it took me so long to clean the mess up that when I came back, the game had locked up, and I was mad as hell. Mad as hell. Well, shit wasn't really working out for my parents, man. I remember they was arguing a lot. I remember they argued a lot about money and shit then. I do remember that. And I mean, we staying like in a brand new townhouse, you know, duplex townhouse, and row houses, but it was only like 2 row houses connected to each other, and then a little bit of yard and then another, 2 row houses instead of being like 4 or 5 in a row. But it was like a brand new Jewel, so they was probably stressing on money and shit. And we ended up coming up here to the Fredericksburg, Falmouth, Stafford, Virginia area instead of down Virginia Beach. And I don't know, he ended up finding another job, putting in line underneath, using the machine to shoot lines underneath the ground eventually. I can't remember what all he did. I mean, he went to school down in Texas, man, at nights. I remember that. And I can't remember what he did when he first came up here. He might have been doing drywall and stuff with my uncle. He may very well have. But he had a weld and everything, and then he ended up getting a CDL after a while. But he was in the Navy when I was like a baby. Man, my dad was good people, man, for real. As far as I could tell, anyway. As far as I could tell, anyway. A lot of people liked him. A lot of people liked to party with him, hang out with him. He was like the life of the party type guy, always wanting to get drunk, carry on, act the fool. But yeah, so we came up to this. I mean, I was probably in, 4th or 5th grade by that time when we got up here. I don't think I was in elementary school here, but maybe 1 or 2 years. So yeah, I think, I'm not sure, but we must not have been in Texas very long, nor Virginia Beach very long, because like I said, I know I went to school in West Virginia for a little bit. I just can't remember it. But anyhow, when we got up here, it was like a total different change, because we started staying in real row houses, low income housing, which was like totally different for me, man. The kids were totally different. Like the kids in Virginia Beach were pretty cool. The kids up here wanted to fight and shit. Test me, I guess. See where I was at with it. You know what I mean? It's a totally different deal, man. Should be the last ones, I believe. Or maybe not. Yeah, no, this should be it. Started riding the bus to school and stuff. Started getting into a lot of physics. Not a lot, but got in a fight with 2 kids on the bus. Got in a fight with me at the bus stop. It's pretty normal for that, I don't know. And I was new. Wasn't a tremendous white number of families in the neighborhood, so I got in a fight with a lot of white kids. Probably like 4 or 5, maybe 6, 8, families that had kids in the neighborhood that were Caucasians. but I was like, it ain't hurting me that bad, really. You just punch me on the stomach, you know what I mean? And I'm like, it don't even hurt, what are you talking about? And like all the other kids are kind of grouped around, and that's their buddy. So I was thinking, like, if I fought back, they was gonna put me, you know, even worse. So I was like, man. Well, my mom came looking for me at the same time because she needed to go somewhere. And she came down to the woods and called me up to the house. And she's like, what the hell's going on? You know, I was like, nothing. She was like, don't let them beat up on you, you know? Basically, even though she had told me not to be getting into fights with nobody in the neighborhood before that, you know what I mean? So, but that led me to get my ass whooped the next time. The two brothers. That's what we're all about. I got into a fight with one brother. I punched him in his face and he fell. And his brother grabbed me up, or he stumbled. His other brother grabbed me up like like a dumbass. I'm trying to get loose. I'm like, man, what the fuck you doing? His brother fucking out was waka waka. And we get on blue, give me a big old goose egg on mine. Yeah. I don't know if I had on. But we was on the bus all morning. Kind of, you know, wasn't much of a fight. The kid punched me in the back of the head. I turned back around and caught him. Came over top of the seat like that, caught him right down on top of his nose, went bang, right down on top of his nose. The thing was blood everywhere. He was crying. And the other kid, I socked him in the face and he socked me back. And that was it. That was then. I was like, all right, well, all right then. He was talking a lot of shit, man, and I socked him. Wow. And then he fucking socked me back. Wow. I was like, we fucking sat there for a second and looked at each other, and then let's see here. Use this thing. Use cat phrases. Keep a terrible time doing these stories like this. You should keep up on my pace too, you know. I'm not sweating or nothing, man. We out here doing burpees, so I'm gonna have to turn it up a little bit, but I want to be able to tell the stories too, you know what I mean? That's the only thing good about this thing is once you put my shoes off, not let them slip off. Like, if that slipping off, they wouldn't take them. I wasn't like a super, you know, getting into fights all the time type kid or nothing either. But, like I said, it wasn't like as out of the ordinary as it would be today, I guess. You know, nowadays that would be unheard of, but back then it was like, I mean, that's just like everyday thing, you know, that somebody got in a fight with somebody in the neighborhood or something, you know. Man, let's go, let's get it. Let's get it, let's go, let's go, let's get it. I don't know how I'm gonna edit it and speed it up and all that shit. I've been talking while I'm doing this shit too. So, it's gonna be raw, I guess. Raw! 2, 3. I'm not listening to nothing, but trying to plug my earphone in. Basically just using it for the mic. So I'm trying to think where we're at. I came up to elementary school. I know this is gonna sound crazy. But one time in elementary school, kid had like a cross earring, and me and my buddy held him down. We wasn't gonna rip it out, but we definitely didn't think we was. Me and my assholes. Got in trouble for that. No, I wasn't allowed to. I had to be on the wall for recess for like ever. And then I forget, man. Like every time we'd have recess, you know what I mean? And every time I'd end up doing something, I'd never be able to do recess with the other kids. Like, it would be rare. One time, kid brought a movie book in, and he's like, yeah, come on. So it's like 2 or 3 of us walk over there, look and see what he's got. And of course, we got busted right then. I don't even know if we looked at it, to be honest with you. Like, we got busted pretty quickly. Like they seen everybody kind of going like over that way, you know what I mean? And then there was another time that facts that happened. I was friends with an African American I would just say kid, but kind of has to go with the story. You know what I mean? There was kids there that was making fun of him. You know, took his hat, was calling him names. Not much appreciated. But I don't think he lived in our neighborhood or anything, but you know, in our neighborhood there just wasn't a whole lot of white folks. So you know, to be calling him names like that and stuff was not cool with us. But these kids wasn't from our neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? These kids were from, you know, out in the country. So, me and a couple of my buddies that I had, we went over and started talking to the boy. Was like, hey, you don't need to come around, you know, or we'll fuck you up, basically, type shit. And sure enough, he had a couple buddies. I think it ended up being like 11 kids. I think 10, 11 kids, something like that. Because when we went to the principal's office, he was like, what the hell is this? The baseball team? He was pretty fit to be tied, the principal was. And he told us he was calling all our parents. And then they was gonna figure out what they was gonna do with all of us. So we're all sweating bullets. I was lovely, you know. I'm hit. But back then too, like, I'm not even sure if you had an answering machine. You know what I mean? Like, back then you had to call a house and somebody had to answer the phone and they was always at work, so. But I never ended up getting any trouble behind it. None of the kids, you know. This is the third one. None of the other kids got suspended or anything either, you know what I mean? I think they was worried about it getting out that many kids got to carrying on crazy and they couldn't control it, you know. But shit. Middle school, they started to either escalate even more. everybody started wearing flannels and cowboy boots and stuff like that. And it was almost like wearing colors, you know what I'm saying? I remember one dance was a big fight in the high school too. Cut with a little pen knife. But I could never get no money out of my parents or nothing, you know. And finally, my mom started taking a bunch of painkillers because she had hurt her back at work. Somebody at the McDonald's had mopped up the floor with like cold water and it was grease, and she slipped and messed her back up real bad. So she was like soft down on the couch pretty much all the time, you know what I mean? Basically never knew what the hell was going on. So I started pulling out a purse. You know, get a couple dollars to go to the arcade, this, that, and the third. But, you know, I wasn't like robbing or blind or something, you know what I mean? So, like in the summers and stuff, I'd go out and cut grass in the neighborhood. Back then you get like maybe $5 for cutting the grass or something, 10 maybe if you was lucky. But I always wanted my own money, you know. And then my dad ended up, this guy ended up moving in like the road across the street. He had like a little construction company. He did stuff, you know, by himself basically. When I was 13, he let me come to work with him on a building over the summer and paid me for it. And I was like, well, dang, this is all right. I found out that you get a worker's permit. Started working when I was 14. So when I was 14, I went and got a worker's permit. And I went and got me a job at a barbecue place that was like right out front of town, right out front of the neighborhood. So I could walk there. And started working there. Trying to make my own money. And then shoot. Like, they had me doing some crazy stuff, man, for being a little youngster, like doing all the grease and cleaning fires and all kinds of stuff, man. I was supposed to be like the dishwasher, of course, but that entailed all that, so. And I also had to like make sandwiches in the back and shit. That job sucked. But there was like no chance I wasn't gonna get my license. You know, I was doing everything to make sure that I got my license. And then my parents bought me like a little bitty Sunbird car, and I got a job at the amusement park right here. But you see, what I'm trying to tell you is I've been working my whole life. That's why I don't like having no gangster stories. You know, I mean, like I said, I kind of wanted, I always kind of wanted to swing reaper for free. So what I would do is just do it on consignment, you know, and that was about as gangster as it gets, you know, for the most part. You know, getting running a little bit of reefer and getting rid of it back in the 90s. That's probably about, you know. I definitely put myself in situations, man, got myself in my head. I didn't even know it, you know. Like, once I started going to work, I dropped out of school because I didn't really see much point in it. And I was messing up, man. All I wanted to do was make money and run the roads. So, I wasn't putting no effort into doing school. So I ended up dropping out, going to work at a moving company. And we would work, you know, however long it took till you were done. You had to move whatever it was, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like an 8-hour job, you know? And then go out of town and stuff. Like, I worked a couple 8-hour jobs. Oh yeah, I worked at a department store too. I ended up stealing some stuff from there and they fired me. I know, boys. Look, I used to have sticky fingers back in the day. I know it. I can't, I'm not proud of it, but it happened. Alright, I'm gonna get the barbell so we can do the squats. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Damn, boys, I came back. Telling you all about what happened when I worked at the department store. That's hard. Oh, man. Yeah. After the amusement park closed, I got a job. I got into an early out program in school where you would get out early to go to work. You would come in half the day at school and go the rest of the day to work. Whether you were scheduled or not, it didn't matter. They had, you know, you were just out every day. So that led to a lot of shenanigans right there. Just being out of school every day earlier than everybody else. Some days I had to work, but a lot of days I didn't. I ended up working at night, but I still got out of school early, you know what I mean? And, well, like I said, about halfway through the school year, this girl that worked there, went to a different school, started stealing stuff and giving it to me. And, of course, I knew she was kind of, you know, not paying for it, but I didn't ask her to do it either, so. Next thing I know, everybody's pretty much stealing shit out of the place, so my dumb ass thinks, oh yeah, that'd be a great idea. And I ended up getting caught. They have to kick me out of the class because I don't have a job, even though I'd already went out and got another job at McDonald's. And I was working there. And they was like, yeah, no dice. So I had like 3 study halls at the end of the damn day. So that went to me, end up going home early anyway, and cutting classes all the time, which I got in trouble for. After that, I was thinking like, well, then after that, I kept getting into altercations, like not necessarily fights, but like arguments and almost kicking it off and a lot of shit talking. Sometimes me putting hands on people and them not wanting to do nothing. And I felt like it was time to get up out of there, man. And as I'm thinking back on it, it seems like there was a lot more violence there. I was really thinking it was gonna sound like. put together type deal. You know what I'm saying? There's like 3 different bikes that I found and put together. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I never started it. I did one set, and then did one set. Yeah. So, I was talking a lot of shit, trying to get the dude to fight me, and he wouldn't do it. Man, finally they come and get me, and they're like, yeah, he'll do it. And so I come over where he's at, and I start jack jawing, trying to get him to hit me, you know, or to fight me. And sure enough, he did. He smacked the shit out of me, and then took off running. I couldn't catch him. Man, I was mad as hell. Man, I was mad as hell. And my buddy goes and gets him and talks him into coming back and squaring up with me again. And I mean, he's swole my lip up big as shit. But he said he wanted to tie his shoe. He went to tie his shoe as soon as he came up. He went down. I started hitting him in the top of his head while he's laying on the ground. He grabbed my foot and I tripped up. And he took off running again. Dude, this older guy that was washing his car sees him. He's like, look out, he's right behind. Old boy about fell down, and I'm still standing where I was at. I wasn't gonna chase him or anything. I couldn't catch him. Well, the boy that helped him steal our bikes, we seen his brother one day. And him and his little friend was talking shit to me and my buddy. So we went over and talked to him, and was like, all right, well, y'all was talking shit, now we're here. And they was like laughing and carrying on. So we held them down, took their shoes off and threw them. We didn't steal them, but that's what they told their dad. And their dad came over and wanted to whip my ass. Well, my mom got in the middle of that. Mom was kind of crazy for real. She got in the middle of that deal. And of course, he sent his sons back over. His sons back over to handle that business with me. So he ended up showing up out front with his buddy, and they're throwing the football out like in my parking lot. I'm in there watching TV with my buddy. The next thing you know, the window's broke. I'm like, damn, bro, why'd you do that? Why didn't you just come up here and knock on the door? Like, when my mom gets home and the fucking window's broke, she's gonna call the fucking wall. You dummy. Of course, they go scampering off. You know, they go scampering off. Oh. And sure enough, that's what happened. And they go out into the neighborhood, asking anybody outside if they had seen anything. Because I was inside, I hadn't seen nothing. I just know that there was a football, you know what I mean? And the window was broke. So, they go looking for him. I think they end up asking him questions and stuff, but nothing came out of it because nobody was really with us, so I don't reckon. But, so yeah, then I see the dude again. They come into the department store where I was working, and he's like, oh, that's the dude right there. And they came over to me, and like, you know, I'm at work, but it's what it is. And he started asking me a bunch of questions. I started telling him like what happened. And he was like, oh, well, he is kind of a little shit. And I know he wasn't hurt or nothing like me and beat him up or nothing. They just took their shoes off and threw them down the alleyway, you know what I mean? They just went down and got their shoes, but they went and tried to tell their dad that we stole the shit. Anyway, me and old boys, we ended up being alright though, for real, at the end of the day. Lunches first. Lunches first. See here. Yeah, buddy. Them biceps popping from yesterday, man. Let me go get this thing done. Hold on. All right, boys. I think I'm about to go around this elliptical machine real quick. But yeah, I mean, kind of a hodgepodge type description of it or whatever, but we're getting there, and I'm trying to remember stuff, you know, as we go here. I met my ex-wife when I was 16, so we need to discuss that for sure, because that was a big part of a lot of things that I did moving forward as far as working, you know. And yeah, man, I gotta write it down where we left off. We were right here in high school, right about the time I'm about to drop out. So, think of a couple more cool stories. I used to go around, pick everybody up in the morning, like before school and shit. And I was the reefer guy, so we got a couple funny little stories and stuff, man. I have to try to remember everything, man. Try to give y'all a better perspective of who Rocky Strong is, you know what I'm saying? That being said, be good to yourself. Tell your loved ones you love them. Bicycle.